On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how important is networking in business?
11. I mean, absolutely fundamental.
Hey guys, it's Matt Haycox here, and I want to talk to you about one of my favourite topics, becoming a master networker. Now, if you've followed me for any length of time, you'll hear me bang on and on about the importance of networking and the importance of having a kick-ass network. Most of my success is down to deals I've done with relationships that I have built over the years. And no matter how much I achieve, I will always strive to keep growing my network. I've got a phenomenal black book of people in every industry. I've got investors, mentors, celebrities, people who can make things happen for me and enrich my life in some way. I'm telling you now, you will not achieve great success without your own power network. Networking gets a bad name. Far too many people roll their eyes at the thought of networking or going to a networking event. But that is because they're networking with the wrong people in the wrong places. I have never ever pulled a face or dreaded having to go networking. Why? Because I specifically target the people that I want to build relationships with. I do it in venues and environments that I've chosen or control, and I know that good things are going to come from adding this caliber of person into my network. So what have I possibly got to dread or pull a face about? Now, I've got lots of specific networking videos on YouTube, so if you want to take a deep dive into this topic and my strategies, then go and check some of them out. But for here, I want you to keep in mind the principle of pre-identifying your targets rather than just aimlessly wandering around so-called networking events. And I want you to create fun and memorable atmospheres for your meetings with these people, and then you will not go far wrong. Do not let me hear any excuses for why you can't create memorable environments or points of difference, even on a budget. Now look, I know you may see me doing a lot of my networking in foreign countries, on yachts, etc., but I promise you, I've built some incredible relationships whilst on a hike, a session in the boxing ring, or even just on a Zoom call. These are things that have not cost me a penny, and you can do the same.
Followers of it, like 800,000, but you know, there's plenty of people that have been on Love Island now. There's plenty of celebrities, and a lot of them do disappear, they do get forgotten. And where my success genuinely comes from in networking is no matter where I go, no matter who I meet, I treat everyone as if they're somebody. Like, I will take time to sit there and talk to the cleaners, and I'll take time to talk to the execs. I've got time to talk to absolutely anyone when I'm at an event, and I've had so many opportunities snowball from conversations I've had with people who I didn't know could benefit me. Do you know what I mean? But somehow they 100%. Did. And there's some people that go to events or you know, they're chasing their business potentials, but they only want to look out for the people they think can help them. But what you don't realise is that that isn't how you should act in life. You need to treat everyone with respect, everyone the same, because one day today's runner is going to be an exec in 10 years, and you're going to have to be sitting in front of them.
100%. And also, I think, you know, what people misunderstand with networking or relationship developing is that you've got to give long before you can think about receiving. I actually thought about it again this morning because I got a text message from somebody where I'd introduced them to somebody who's potentially going to invest in the business. You know, certainly help them, and they just sent me a message saying it's been a fantastic introduction, thanks so much. And you know, I'll always look at those situations, and if I know I can put two people together for their mutual benefit or whatever, I just get on with it. And I want nothing from it. You know, yeah. I would like to think at some point in the future, if I knock on your door, you might be able to help me out. But yeah, 99% of the people look at those situations and want to know what their cut of the deal is, you know, yeah. Before the introductions even be made.
A big one that I really love is your network is your net worth. And you know, I think there are some key strategies to it. So first of all, I'm a big believer with relationships being sort of like an inch wide, mile deep, and you know, having deep, purposeful relationships. But how do you get deep, purposeful relationships? Well, first of all, you need to put yourself out there. You know, if you're going from that social media point of view, outreach, how many people are you reaching out to a day? You know, you'll get some people going, mate, fuck off, I'll get 10 of you reach it. It's just like, okay, we'll find a unique way. Don't just copy and paste it across. If you can I'd rather reach out to 20 people a day. You can spend an hour a day, 5 minutes on each person, quickly looking through, saying, hey, saw your social media post that you posted 2 weeks ago about this, found it really interesting. Out of interest, what's your view on that? You know, an opener, kind of like that. And if you put yourself out there and you talk to go to lunch with somebody different, and net your time a little bit. Do it with 4 or 5 people. Even if it is just a quick half an hour lunch, you can quickly assess them and who you think you'll benefit from it, and then you develop deeper and deeper and deeper relationships over time. I do think relationships is selling. It's a form of sales, but people get selling so wrong, and we speak about it a lot, like you've got 2 ears, 1 mouth. Use it in that ratio, you'll be a much better salesperson. But people think of selling as forcing something, second-hand car dealership, like buy my stuff. And actually selling's about listening. I'm a big believer, and if you can build a relationship with somebody from a point of view of how can I add value to this person, and you take the time to listen to them, what do they do, contextualize where they want to go in, like kind of what you were saying about staff, where do you want them to be in 18 months? But just as important or more important is where do they want to be? What excites them, what motivates them, what problems are you going through in business that if I put some thought into, I could probably help. And I think if you go out and do that and you have that value add mentality, you're gonna make amazing amounts of money, and more important, and it's that ROI. It's ridiculous. I don't think it can be fully measured. There's the financial ROI, but happiness, doing what you're doing. It wasn't Monday. It's two Mondays ago. I was absolutely shattered. I've been doing a push for a launch for the last 100 days, really. And you were like, look, let's go out for dinner tonight. And it was like the day before, and I was like, mate, I've got this line, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. I'd just done 2 hours on an online seminar. He's like, come on, mate, let's go for dinner. And I was just not feeling it at all. And it was just like, well, come on, come out for dinner. Go.
No choice,
Dragged me along. And obviously you were terrible company, but I very much enjoy my own, and the food was good. No, but we end up going out for a good 2-3 hours, having a chat. We end up getting kicked out because we were there so late, and it's just actually just enjoying the conversation, just having a chat. No sort of motive. Fast forward, that's why we're here now, having this chat, and we'll see what comes from that. But if you look at who you surround yourself with in life, you can pretty much measure somebody. If you want to know somebody's bank, and I don't just mean how much money's in there, but overall bank as a person, look at who they're spending time with. And it was, it wasn't Napoleon Hill, but it was in Think and Grow Rich, that you are the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. And I don't know if it's 5, I don't know if it's 10, I don't know if it's 100, I'm sure it's not a fixed number, but it makes sense if you're going to spend all your time with knockoff Nige down the pub that knows everything about nothing, that talks shit about everyone. You're going to become that person. Whereas actually, if you spend and invest your time with people that are talking business, marketing, scaling, networking, you're probably going to progress to that as well. So yeah, massive fan of networking and building relationships.
While I was sort of at a point in my life where I decided to take the sauce outside of my local Brixton and not promote it where Caribbean people were, I decided to just go wherever there was an event about spices and about food, but there wouldn't be no Caribbean people there. And it was while I was at one of these events, one of the producers of Dragon's Den was just happened to be in the audience, and I was there selling the sauce and being silly on me as I was back then. And she came over with a business card and offered me to come on the show. And I remember specifically when she did offer me the card, I refused it because I'd never heard of the show and I didn't really understand what she was trying to tell me, that it was about finance and that sort of stuff.
So at that point you actually weren't even looking for investment, or you weren't particularly trying to grow the business. You then kind of fit a business model of growth around the fact that you could go on the show to ask for money.
Yeah, no, I suppose no. I mean, for me, when I used to go to those events, it was about networking and always trying to get to the next level of selling the next bottle of sauce and getting some more information about the chili world and about people that love spicy food. So it was me gathering information to perhaps do the business in another way. But as I said, about the tide, when it comes, you never know when it comes, and sometimes it hits you in your face, or luck. I call it the tide, but it's about your luck comes and sometimes slaps you in your face, and you're still not waking up to it. And she was giving me a business card and telling me that here is my tide, this is my moment, this is your moment of luck has come. And because I wasn't in that space at the time, I was saying, excuse me, I'm not really into that. But I still took the business card which she gave me, and it was later on that my kids recognized the business card from Dragon's Den, and it was them that sort of told me what the show was about and that sort of stuff.
Or a few tips could you share about finding and connecting with the right people? I don't want to say the word networking, because it is about relationships.
So I was asked this recently, and I guess it was one of the first times that I actually tried to almost like, you know, put it into a formula or a strategy.
Yeah.
But I think for me, you know, the key thing is networking gets a bad name. You know, and a lot of people don't want to do it, and a lot of people pull a face at having to do it. And I think the reason being is because they are networking with the wrong people. You know, if you look at our situation now, where we're here in the villa, there's 12, 15 of us here. Okay, technically we're networking, but we're all enjoying ourselves because, you know, we're the right people, you know, the right connections. You know,
Doesn't feel forced.
Exactly.
In any way.
No, and also that, you know, they are people that you enjoy being around. No one could possibly put themselves in this situation and go, I hate networking. But should you be stuck at a BNI breakfast, you know, with 20 people trying to give a forced lead to the local tradesman, or you might be at a conference with 1,000 people that you don't particularly want to talk to, and you're dishing out business cards with no focus and willy-nilly. I guess, you know, they're the times when people go, I hate networking, I don't want to do it. I think, you know, the mistake that's made is that they're networking without focus. So, as we just talked about a minute ago, you know, the two kinds of networking: the general networking, but in the right situations, and the focused networking of who you want to get in front of. And then I think, you know, when you've decided who you want to get in front of, it's very important to really think about, you know, what can you offer them to get them to take your call, for them to want to sit down in front of you.
I was just going to ask you, what questions should you ask yourself when going into that environment? So thank you.
Well, you know, and it's something, you know, when I was talking about it before, I'm conscious that I give this answer in as non-arrogant a way as possible.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of the time people are trying to network above their station, and let's put that into the context of, I don't know, let's give it a fitness analogy. If you're going to take me, little tubby me, if I want to go and run a marathon tomorrow, then I'm going to fail. I'm not marathon ready. You know, I need to do the 1 mile and the 3 miles and the 5 miles, and, you know, maybe get the diet right and some of the other bits around it. And the process of running the marathon almost is a marathon. You know, if you've never been in business, or you don't have great connections at the moment, and you want to start saying, well, I want to go and meet that billionaire, and I want, you know, and I want Duncan Bannatyne to come and sit down with me, or I want to get, you know, Simon Cowell to take my call. You've got to be realistic and think that either A, it's not going to happen, or B, what can you offer these people?
This is a very valuable share
to get them to take their call. But there's a very well-known UK business person that I've been trying to get in front of recently, and, you know, understandably, he won't take my call, he won't take my introduction. But I found out he's a tennis fan and a big tennis player. And because of my connections into the tennis world, I've proposed to him through his PA a game of doubles with me against two, you know, previous world champion tennis players. All of a sudden, he now wants to take my call. Now, and again, I'm conscious of the people watching this might be thinking, well, that's lovely, Matt, but it's completely unrealistic. You know, how am I ever going to you know, get two ex Grand Slam champions to come and play tennis? But that's when it then comes back to
where you are,
back to being realistic. You know, and maybe if you're not able to do it, then that probably means at the stage in business you're at, you're not ready to be making those connections anyway. You know, so in the same way that I'm not ready to run a marathon tomorrow, or I'm not ready to bench press 300 pounds tomorrow, you know, baby steps, you know, get better connections, get better, you know, make your business better, make more money still. And I think it's you know, having that progression plan in place.
Man, I love so much what you've just shared.